Listen, when customers know what to expect, they're more likely to be satisfied. They are. And so let's talk about setting clear expectations and very clear boundaries and why this is going to be crucial for the success, especially the success of your customer service experience in your brand or your business. Welcome to day 13 of I don't know how many days of up leveling your customer service experience for your online business and brand. I want to talk to y'all about 5 different simple ways to help customers know what to expect every step of the way. Number 1, be transparent about delivery times. Whether you're a product-based business and you're shipping out products, or whether you're a service-based business that has deliverables like a graphic designer, like a copy editor, whatever it is, you want to let your customers know when they will receive their orders, when they will receive the deliverables. And you want to make sure that these policies, the expectations are clearly outlined, whether it's on the sales page, the checkout page, whether they get it in the email once they've purchased, before and after they purchased. And you want to make sure that everything is accurately displayed, right, at checkout. Before they even buy, they know exactly what to expect from you. Number 2, you want to have very clear communication and clear communication on your return and your exchange policies. So you want to be sure that you are spelling out your return policy, your exchange policy, your refund policy, whether you got one or you don't got one. You want to make sure that it's very clearly outlined on your website. So they can know that when they go and buying the wrong sizes for their wife, husband, daughter, brother, son, uncle, auntie, whoever, they need to know like, hey, this is the policy. You got this many days to send this back. Or, hey, when you buy this offer, it is a no refund offer. When you purchase this event ticket, this conference ticket, you will not get a refund. You cannot exchange this for another service or another event. It is what it is, right? You have to clearly outline that. And you want to make sure that you're avoiding vague language saying, hey, we will address the refund depending on the situation. Like, that is not clear. Okay. And so you want to make sure that customers know exactly what to expect if they need to return a product. If they say, hey, I no longer like this, it doesn't really fit me well, I need to know that I can now refund this because I don't want it anymore because it doesn't work for me, versus me having to go take it to Goodwill or give it to somebody else, right? Because now I've lost money and you didn't have a policy, but you're telling me I cannot give this back to you, right? Number 3, set response time expectations. Now, I talked about this in another video, and I told you, your customers, they don't care. They don't care that your response time is 24 to 48 hours. They don't care that you're a solopreneur and you somewhere on the beach and you out of office for the next 4 days. And when you return on Monday, they'll get a response. Monday too late if it's Tuesday. And I can't access the stuff that I paid you for. You understand? And so you need to make sure that you're setting the response time expectations so you can be like, hey, well, this is what it is. Woo doo woo woo. You know what I'm saying? Let customers know how long it's going to take for you to respond to them. And then even if it is 24 hours, make sure that you respond within 24 hours. If it's 48 hours, make sure you respond, or make sure you hire a customer service person who can support you while you're away. Right? Because those expectations are going to help prevent frustration. Now, like I said, I can guarantee you that if you got a 24 to 48 hour situation or policy and that person has responded to you on Monday, or let me say on Monday, let me say Friday, y'all. These are examples that I've actually experienced. It's Friday. You clock out at 5 o'clock, or your person clock out at 5 o'clock. At 4:59, when they're finishing off everything, or at 5:02, your customer sends an email saying, hey, I can't access my membership portal. I can't access the files. Please share access to the Google Drive with all my stuff in it, right? Technically, you off of work and you don't respond, but they need this in order to do a project over the weekend. You don't know this. They didn't communicate that to you, but they're like, hey, I need you to respond to me. Now, Saturday go by, Sunday go by, that's 48 hours right there. Now, your policy needs to be clear that, hey, this does not include over the weekends. We do not respond over the weekends, or maybe you do. So you need to communicate your hours of business. You need to communicate that if y'all gonna respond over the weekends, if y'all not gonna respond over the weekends. The stuff has to be clearly communicated so your people cannot be frustrated, or they can't be going off on you when they know that your business hours is this, right? Now they have to be more understanding and more merciful. Now, that's number 3. Number 4, be honest about the availability of your products. Be honest about your capacity as a service-based provider. And so when it comes to the e-commerce brands, when I'm saying be honest, if you have an item on your website and it's out of stock or it's back ordered, take it off your website. Why is it there? Unless they can now pre-order it. Unless you want to give them an opportunity to sign up for restock notifications. Other than that, take it off, because I want this product from you and it's not available. So how does it benefit me by being on your website? Or for businesses that have like storefronts, right? If I'm going into a business and the mannequin at the front door has this fire outfit on, and I'm like, oh, I definitely want to buy that for my mom, right? That's going to be beautiful. I know she's going to love that. And now you're looking all over and you don't see this outfit nowhere. This includes online e-commerce brands as well. I don't see this product nowhere in the store. So I asked somebody like, hey, this beautiful outfit right here, I want this. And they're like, oh, that's out of stock. My immediate thought is, then why is it on the mannequin at the front? Why is it being advertised if you don't have it? Go take it off and put it in the back. You know what I'm saying? That's my immediate thought. And so you got to be honest and upfront about your product availability. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Take it off the website. If you don't have it in stock, take it off the mannequin, right? For my service-based business providers, if you're saying, let me think of a good example right here because it's not in my notes. So we're talking about being honest about product availability. We're talking about being honest about service delivery, all of the things. So for my service-based business providers, or my service-based providers for businesses, if you're saying that you're going to offer 14 days of Slack support, but you know you don't have the capacity to do that because it's just you, right? Now your people have a problem because you promised them this. If you're saying that if you purchase this package, it's up to 40 hours a week, and for the past 2 weeks, you've been able to get by with 20 hours per week, and now that customer is demanding time sheets or 40 hours a week, and you like, I don't got no capacity for that. You got to be upfront because you told them 40, whether you was doing 20 the first 2 weeks or not. You told them you were available for up to 40 hours. So now they're in lunch season, they're in busy season, and they're expecting you to do what you said you were going to do. Now you have to make sure that you're being honest about your capacity, being honest with yourself about your capacity. What can you handle? You know, don't get into the imposter syndrome because you're seeing everybody else saying, hey, I got capacity. I'm accepting 5 more people into my business or for this offer before the end of the year. In Q1, I'm accepting 10 people into this program. Sorry, I'm so congested. Don't get into all of that hype and the imposter syndrome surrounding all of that. You want to make sure that you're honest about your capacity because their capacity may be different from your capacity. They may have a team of people who are supporting you where you're working by yourself. And then number 5, let's wrap this up. Follow through on your promise. If you said this, then do this. Once expectations are set, follow through really quickly. When it comes to expectations, we have unrealistic expectations, unmet expectations, and unspoken expectations. When it comes to unrealistic expectations, whether it's from your end or your customers' end or your employees' end, your customers may have an expectation that whenever they call, whenever they send you a Slack message, whether it's over the weekend, whether it's at 7 p.m. at night, they may have the expectation that you're supposed to respond immediately. That's an unrealistic expectation that can be resolved if you have clear expectations, clear policies outlined, and you have communicated that to them up front. So when it comes to my discovery calls, I'm very clear. The only reason why I do them is because I want to make sure that we're aligned, that my values align with your values, that I understand what you are expecting from me or what you need support on, and that I can be truthful and honest that if that's in my wheelhouse, right? Even though it's very clearly outlined on my website, I want to make sure that you know that when you work with me, this is what you can expect. I want to let you know that so we don't waste each other's time. Because if I just allow anybody to just go purchase it and I realize like, hey, you a yoga instructor and I don't work with yoga instructors, then it's an issue because now I got to go through the whole process of refunding you your money. There may be fees involved in that. And now we have an issue, right? And so we have to clearly communicate our expectations, our policies, our hours, all of the things. And so if you're saying you're going to respond within 24 hours, make sure you respond within 24 hours, because the moment those things get into 48 hours and 72 hours, they're frustrated. Your customers, they're like, what is happening? You haven't responded. Now they're sending you 30 emails from 3 different email addresses. And you're like, what is going on? Right? And so follow through on your promises. If you said you're going to do something, if you said you're going to deliver logo proofs by this date, your customer should not have to follow up with like, hey, where the logo proofs at? You know what I'm saying? You said you were going to do it by this time. Get it done. Or communicate like, hey, they're not ready yet. I'll have them to you by this day instead. The least you can do is over communicate, right? Even if you feel bad because you told them this, like at least over communicate and say, hey, they'll be more understanding if you communicate that it's not going to be the time that you said versus you not saying anything and they got to follow up with you, because now that's a problem, because now I got to take my time to follow up with you. You ain't got good customer service. You see what I'm saying? So setting these, okay, so those unrealistic expectations. Unspoken expectation, it goes back to setting the clear expectation. So if you have an expectation and it's unspoken, you can expect your employees to know that that's what you expected from me, because you never told me. You didn't tell me that I was going to have to work at 7 p.m. because you was on a call doing a webinar. You didn't tell me that. Yeah, I knew you had it, but you didn't tell me I had to work it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're a good employee, you're going to say, hey, I know you're doing a webinar at this time. Do you need any support? Right? If that's in your, your wheelhouse, if that's in your level of capacity. But you can't be like, well, I'm having this webinar. What you expected? It was an unspoken expectation. You didn't communicate. You can't have an expectation for me to provide you a level of service or to support you for something that you didn't specifically communicate. And then the unmet expectations is when you don't fulfill the promise that you promised. And so setting these clear expectations up front is going to reduce customer frustration, customer dissatisfaction. It's going to help reduce any misunderstandings, any miscommunication, and it's going to help you build a stronger relationship with your customer. Because when we do not have these expectations clearly written out, clearly stated, clearly communicated, it can impact all types of relationships, whether it's a marital relationship, a parent child relationship, whether that's a business to consumer relationship, a business to business relationship. When the expectations are not clear, it hinders the relationships in some type of way, shape, or form. And so you want to make sure that you are clearly leading your customers to success by outlining policies and things of that nature. So if you're ready to improve your customer service experience, if you're ready to make sure that your customers know what to expect every step of the way, every step of the customer journey process, make sure you sit or go visit my website, not sit. Make sure you go visit my website and book a discovery call at www.theempireeffectagency.com. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.